I'm not going to forget about last night that easily. In terms of our XANDRIA exposure, our continued journey into their work of earlier eras. Again, you'll remember, as I've stated many times, I started in present day with a wonder still awaiting of Amr Vuverhe's leadership, and then very recently did a light survey of Manuela Craller's time in the group. Now entering the Diana von Giersbergen era, which I've been looking to with such aspirational eyes. I've waited for this moment. And whether it be on the reprisal journey of, I don't know which instance of a re-listen and how many times I've given it, because it's been a number of them, but Nightfall. That was excellent, but the title number. It helps when you have a 10-minute fanfare of such prowess. And again, I've said many times, XANDRIA for me, even in the early window I have a developing understanding. I regard them as one of my favorite symphonic metal highlights. German basis, again, for any initiate's sake, so you're all on even footing. Though again, I'll keep an open window here for approach, because music is very much a companionship art, I feel, and I hope that those of you who are approaching come from a mixed pool of perspective, where we happen to be, of course, longtime fans, and I'm sure in our journey of XANDRIA's history, which I told you was coming, I'm sure you've been waiting for me to get to the Diana era. This time of XANDRIA's history is truly remarkable. With Diana von Giersbergen, I love her. Even my early window of exposure just on Nightfall and Call of Destiny with so many re-listens, I'm like, I've been waiting to get here. But maybe some of you, again, are new listeners. I hope you feel equally at home with a group that you've not yet been introduced to, but one that you deserve to, especially, again, like real highlight spots. Now, again, to be very clear on my vantage point here, because I know there's a mixture of opinion concerning XANDRIA and the fan base of, which era is favorited over others. I'm not a big, personally, many of you know, again, I hate to rank things or give comparisons. And for me, each era of XANDRIA's history has demonstrated such strength, whether it be Manuela Craller and her vocal extremes and depth as well in the operatic, or Diana von Giersbergen's spinto soprano reach, of course, or even Amr Vuverhe, the newer vocalist who has showed a lot of potential and growth even from what I've seen in terms of some of the live show recordings, of which I did miss the Camelot tour. I always say it, I will not ever be able to forgive myself for not being able to make it. It was a scheduling conflict anyway. But even in what I've been able to peruse on recording, not the ideal, she has really fallen into her own with the group. And I knew in the beginning with Reborn, I'm like, technically the Mortemia collab. That's what brought me into a XANDRIA connection, outside of, as well, one comment they gave XANDRIA as a recommended name. I fell in love with them immediately there. But even in past eras, for me, my love exists in really any branch, I would say, that I've exposed to so far of XANDRIA. But, man, being in the Diana era, ooh! And I've told you in preparation, we're taking a deep dive of her work exclusively, right? She is definitely mandated in terms of a XANDRIA focus, for sure, but as well, of her corresponding credits of what's coming. Ex Libris, her solo project, Diana, and some of her collaborative work that I have listed as part of Phase 2 considerations, which, as I've said many times, a robust list, and she occupies a good section. It's going to be a fun journey we're going to take. I mean, just consider Sacrificium. And if you're waiting in on Dreamkeeper and this is your first approach, I highly recommend you start with the first two pieces. At the very least, now I'm going to say it, both pieces, please go and watch those. Or watch those, listen to those, again, however you wish to experience them, whether in isolation or alongside me. I'll let you determine that for yourself. But just expose yourself to those first two works walking in, especially Sacrificium. I'm coming off again of last night, and still I'm like, that piece was just freaking 10-minute symphonic metal medley, one of the best I've had here at Exposure, alongside All of You, which music is best idealized that way, I think, in terms of companionship journey, especially on first interaction. But man, Sacrificium was something so special to me. And any artist or song I've recognized here, I've quite liked, right? Again, I hate to rank things because every artist is expressed, especially in the symphonic metal respect, there's been substantial variance in voice and stylization, but equivalent prowess and ambition, right? And even in operatic metal extremes that I've really taken a liking to, there are so many leading ladies of European metal origin, and maybe, I think, generally maybe some departures from time to time, lightly, and maybe more I have to venture down at some point. Oh, definitely, whenever that'll be, I'm not sure yet, because Phase 2, again, is quite robust, but you'll keep doors open, of course. But operatic extremes in Europe, oh my gosh, there are many good examples, like Amr Vuverhe and Manuela Craller. But Diana, she's one of my top favorites. And I've barely listened to anything from her yet. We're listening to most of these together in terms of fresh exposure. But let's continue down the XANDRIA route with Sacrificium. In a grander focus than you think, I've told you at least 5 numbers. Let's just say I'll keep it veiled as to where our evolution will take us for now. But because of Sacrificium, the title number, there's been some slight revision. But let's continue on anyway. with Dreamkeeper, the third entry on the album, and I'm sure another beautiful work. As always, Sacrificium truly is a highlight. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. And let's see what extremes this has, too, because XANDRIA definitely plays around it, but again, key force in symphonic metal evolution, 100%. I like the melancholy tone. It's a shift from the first two. I mean, in terms of the particular key. Harsher voice on the riffs, but repressed a bit. But still that grand focus. Ooh, it has like a bit of a pop feel to it too. I'm just gonna take that line at face value, like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. Certainly in foresight of getting to this moment. That was quite a brief switch and capped off really well. Again, good management here on this song. And Diana's hitting more extremes than I thought she would. Again, aptitude within the operatic territory and equal prowess on the melodic, but like I said, deliberate pop chic on this one. At least I see that. Her voice has such a great depth to it. Incredibly even builds here. And the choir touch, while light, is very welcome. Amplification in the background operatic. It's nice. The vocal work is really an advanced side on this piece. It still has enough of a symphonic nature to keep it again right in the line of that, and a deliberancy on the rock riff structure. The deliberancy, though, on individual voice for this one is really impressive. What a nice closure, right? What a good finish, too. It's quite startling and abrupt, but it pierces. The necessary effect I love the shades of that one. It's explicitly ballad, and it comes across, like I said in the beginning, with a pop edge, which is really interesting. And some of the numbers of the past debut from them have interwoven that I'm considering from the present era. Notably, I don't know if I remember if I attributed this in the past, but certainly on re-listens that's come across to me, even briefly, it's there. Though I would say in construction and view of XANDRIA's work, the symphonic nature is quite dominant. And this one still exercises that readily, but again, it's more explicitly evident with a pop tone here, which is so interesting to me. Which is, it produces that effect, I think is a fairer way to term it. Ghosts is the other one that's coming to mind. That just has a touch to it that gives it an added dimension. Pairing that, though, with the vocal structures here and how balanced they are in evolution, especially with the key departure, which totally suits Diana, the vocal control in that section really impressed me on voice. Diana she's equipped at really any style. That's what's so interesting to me, because again, I've said before, plenty of thorough command on the operatic extreme, of course, and then the melodic at a lower register. It's such an even delivery, though, but with even in the vocal layering between her and the choir, which at first appears briefly, and that's the summary element of a track, which, as we proceed through it, with that bridge, becomes a little more evident. This one's organized very well, but the depth of voice, again, and control, especially on the inner splicing, and where the extremes hit on song, and where Diana knows how to place those light vibrations to her voice, and the volume of it, too. It's so distinctive on the end. Again, she can really, when those vibrations kick in, and the really high notes, there's such a force of her. Like, go watch, let's say, for example, I've noted it before, her live rendition of, I'll cite it here for the particular performance I'm thinking of, Valentine. And that was debuted in Neverworld's End during the Manuela Crowler era. You'll notice with the volume on the note, there's a greater emphasis on delivery compared to this. When you get to that end of the keep my dream now, keep my dream now, I keep yours forever. Notice how light and airy those are. They're intentionally, I think, quieted a bit. At least that's what I notice. Again, the precise control and tonal intermixing of her voice. Perfect suit for this number on Ty. It's a fitting association. She really does impress me. I mean, again, I've been sitting here unapologetically, like, I've been waiting to get to the Diana era. I've been waiting for so long now, and I'd only heard 2 numbers. Going into this, though, it's just, again, it's an expansion of understanding of her capabilities. It's really impressive to me. Man, I'm almost speechless. Anyway, XANDRIA's control on voice and their performances, they really do get me on vocals, on symphonic styling. They truly are, like, such a good force, again, in whatever era you look. And I know that there might be a mixture of opinion on that. I am of the opinion, personally, that any appearance of XANDRIA's work on newer releases, again, as we explore them together, or past ones, again, new at one time, any facet I've liked, but the Diana era admittedly really does stand out. I've been waiting for this one for a long time, and I see why, just in suspicion. Nightfall really commanded that entrance, and certainly off of Sacrificium. Wow. But looking at Dreamkeeper and evaluating its deliberate tone and the exercise on vocals and how they're intermixed, and the fact that, again, the XANDRIA roots are not stripped away. They're just retailored again to fit just a slight pop tailoring. Again, it gives it that edge, though it's still precisely in the XANDRIA familiarity of what I know and respect. I love deliberacy like that. I always love revelation, too, when it comes to those vocal reaches, and again, Diana's capability. That's impressive. Just in whatever form her voice takes, it's just such a welcome encounter. I'd love to hear if you agree down below, right, in your experiences with humoring Dreamkeeper, perhaps on a first listen or a return, right? How do you approach? Longtime fan or initiate listen? What do you think? Another great entry off of Sacrificium. So far, a well-developed voice on this record, with plenty of more entries to come, more than you know. That's all I'll say for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.